Some might call me a bit of a collector, and maybe that's true, but one of my absolute favourite collections is my collection of different metals. That's right, just like a magpie, I like shiny metal things. This all started back in 2017 when I received a pocket watch from my granddad after he died, and what made this watch special was that on the chain it had a gold half sovereign, which I thought was pretty cool. Ooh, shiny. But then I wanted something more, well, real, like the sovereign, so I looked around to try and find some gold and or silver. I settled for these two. A 1 gram bar of gold, which at the time I paid about £45, which looks good now compared to its price. And this 100 gram bar, which I don't know how much I paid for it, but I know that the price has certainly increased a lot. But my silver hunting wasn't finished yet, and for my 18th birthday, to kind of celebrate, I bought myself some more. This 5 troy ounce bar and these 2015 silver maples. I was so excited to get these and are some of the favourites in my collection to this day. I paid £282 for these 20 coins, and even back then, this was a pretty good deal. And especially at today's prices, as on the same website buying 20 silver maples is a full £647. Oh, and 4p. So honestly, not a bad investment for only like 3 to 4 years. Although here in the UK we have to pay VAT on our precious metals, which is annoying, but yeah, whatever. You can get some VAT free ones. I also have quite a few less precious metals, but they're still important to me. And I got a few of them from buying them online, but my aluminium came from somewhere else. So back in 2018, I was obsessed with Grant Thompson, the King of Random, and the Mini Metal Foundry. It was sublime, and I wanted to make one of my own. And I did! Hey! And I loved it so much. Thank you so much, Grant. We all miss you. So for my foundry, the first metal I used was aluminium, as he did. So to get it, I went on a quest to a far off land called my brother's house. As he said I could empty his brown bin, but I opened the lid and... Ah! A tsunami of Foster's cans! Ah! So I emptied this bin and it gave me about 2 full bin bags of aluminium cans to take home and melt. And at home, I began my foundry with charcoal and began melting. I had such a fun time spending hours outside melting all of these cans of some scrap my dad gave me. So fun in fact that I really want to do this again sometimes, but on a much bigger scale. You know, maybe future video one day. But after all that melting and casting, melting, casting and all over, I ended up with these, my little nuggets of aluminium. This one's my favourite here, as it is the smoothest and I just love the feeling of it. I use it as a stress reliever quite often, and it is the best stress reliever ever. But I wasn't done with my foundry yet. Oh no! I needed another metal to melt, and what better one to do than lead? What could possibly go wrong? So instead of rooting through bins to get my lead, I instead bought it off eBay, and it was already cast into these little ingots, but no! I needed to do it myself. So I fired up my foundry and got to work. And this was a lot quicker as lead has a much lower melting point than aluminium, but the first mistake I made was filling up the crucible to the top, as when it came time to cast the lead, I really struggled to lift it out with my tongs and nearly spilled it all inside the foundry, but I managed to get it out and cast these little nuggets of joy. They're a lot heavier than the aluminium counterpart, but I love them all the same. But boy did they mess me up. Seriously, like after this, for about the next 2 weeks, I had a real problem with my throat and it felt like my entire mouth and throat was coated in like tar and I couldn't get rid of it. I don't know if that's like lead poisoning or something like that from fumes, but whatever. My next metal is another one that I melted myself, and this is my bismuth nugget. However, unlike the others, I melted this one on the stove, as bismuth had quite a low melting point, so you can actually melt it on your stove. My last interesting metal, honestly, is one of my favourites, and you'll see why, and that is gallium. And the thing that makes gallium one of my favourite metals is that the melting point is so low, you can melt it in your hand. So here you can see, wait, is that a martini glass? Oh, okay. The gallium is melted at the bottom. Like, isn't that just incredible? Like, look, I'm touching a molten metal. The last 2 metals I have are this copper ingot I got off eBay and have done nothing with it. And these little baby nuggets are pewter, which is an alloy of tin, antimony, copper and sometimes silver. I believe this can be melted on the stove as well, so who knows, maybe another future video. I did also have a pretty large collection of over like 150 grams of sodium, which because of its low density, it's actually quite a lot in volume. But that part of my collection went away one bonfire night. That's right, because sodium is explosive! Hi again, it's me. I hope you enjoyed this video, as it is something a bit different with the live action stuff. So if you did, thank you so much, and I will see you again next week.